Don't move to Iowa City until you know these deets. This is my 2022 update, and I'm going to cover things like weather, dangerous animals, average home prices, traffic, politics, natural disasters, and more. If you're considering a move to the greater Iowa City area and you've never been here, or you've only just stopped by for a brief little visit, this is the video for you. Alrighty, let's talk about the weather. Iowa is located in the upper Midwest and we enjoy all 4 seasons. In fact, sometimes it seems like we get more than one of them in a day. Highs during the summer average in the mid-80s, but it is not unusual to be in the 90s with an occasional day topping out at 100. The real headline though in the summer is humidity. Everyone knows Iowa is a major agricultural producer. In fact, 92% of the state is farmland. But did you know that all that corn increases humidity in the atmosphere? According to the U.S. Geological Survey, an acre of corn transpires 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water each day, and that's enough moisture to raise the dew point 5 to 10 degrees. Corn is not the only reason Iowa's air is so heavy and sticky feeling in the summer, but it sure does contribute. The average temperatures in the winter tend to be in the teens to the low 30s, although sometimes it drops below 0 degrees and it stays there for days or weeks or longer. Don't ignore the relentless power of the wind. Iowa is a windy state and that can make temperatures seem even colder. This is called the wind chill factor. Wind chill is perceived temperature, how cold you'll feel based on the rate of heat loss from exposed skin caused by wind and cold. What about natural disasters? Most of the time, Iowa is an environmentally peaceful place, but when things go awry with Mother Nature, the most likely natural disasters to impact Iowans are floods, severe storms, tornadoes, winter storms, and droughts. The weather event that freaks out newcomers the most is definitely tornadoes. Your chances of being in the direct path of a tornado are actually very low, but if you are, you do need to know what to do to protect yourself. If there is a storm with tornadic activity and you hear those tornado sirens going off, that means you should head down to your home's basement. If you don't have a basement, go seek shelter in a room within your house without windows and on the first floor, preferably one located in the center of the house so there's a couple of walls between you and the outside world, a room like a walk-in closet or a bathroom. If you can't do that, get under a heavy piece of furniture like a desk or a table and cover your body as best you can with a blanket, a sleeping bag, or a mattress to protect yourself from flying broken glass and other projectiles. If you're driving in your car and you see a tornado in the distance, try to drive out of its path or stop and allow it to pass. If you're unable to maneuver your vehicle's position out of the path of the tornado and the threat is immediate, get out of your car, duck and cover in a low spot, a ditch, a culvert, or a ravine. If you can't get out of your car, keep your seatbelt on and then lean over so that your head is below the windshield and the windows and cover yourself with whatever you can. It's recommended that you never seek shelter under an overpass because the winds are actually higher in those openings and the debris is just as likely to harm you there. Plus, the road can end up being totally blocked and prevent emergency vehicles from getting to where they need to go. Does Iowa have dangerous animals? I recently had a question about dangerous animals in Iowa from someone unfamiliar with the state. My mind immediately went to things like bears and wolves. Relax, we don't have those here, but there are some creatures that could potentially cause you harm that are not quite as exciting. Iowa does have a couple of venomous snakes, including 3 different varieties of rattlesnakes and copperhead snakes. I've never actually seen a live rattlesnake in Iowa, but I have seen a few dead ones on the road. Other pesky creatures to watch out for are ticks, which can carry disease, especially Lyme's disease. Iowa has 2 spiders that you just don't want to mess with, the black widow and the brown recluse. The animal most likely to cause damage to you or your property here in Iowa is deer. In 2020, the Iowa Department of Transportation reported over 7,000 crashes involving deer, 25 major injuries, for the people, not the deer. 4 fatalities and 146 minor injuries. Be especially cautious of deer at dawn and dusk and during the rut, which is the deer mating season, generally from October to November. Most people, if they've lived here in Iowa long enough, have hit a deer with their vehicle or had very close calls. It happened to my son just this past November, and it did not end well for his truck. The kid was fine, the deer was not. Even if you don't actually hit the deer, that doesn't prevent the deer from being dumb and hitting you. One time I was driving down the road and a deer was running along the side of the road. I slowed down and moved towards the middle of the road to give it space. Then it looked right at me, turned, and ran straight into the side of my car and bounced off. What's the political climate like here? Well, it's a little complicated. Iowa currently has a Republican governor, and since the year 2000, Iowa has voted Democratic 50% of the time and Republican 50% of the time, which makes us a purple state. Rural and less populated areas tend to be quite conservative, while Iowa's more populated and more urban areas are very liberal. In Johnson County, where the Iowa City Metro is located, 70.6% of the people voted Democratic in the last presidential election. Let's talk about driving. Okay, this one is a little embarrassing. In 2021, Iowa was ranked as having the worst drivers in the nation when ranked in different categories like accidents, citations, DUIs, and speeding tickets, according to Quote Wizard. Somehow, from the year 2000 to 2021, Iowa went from being ranked the 23rd best driving state to the absolute worst. Other states on the list with notoriously bad drivers are Alaska, California, Virginia, and North Dakota. I don't know what to say other than get it together, people. Don't light up here. Cannabis in Iowa is illegal for recreational use if classified as marijuana, but consumable hemp products, including CBD products, are legal. Possession of marijuana is a misdemeanor crime in Iowa, punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine, which is one of the most severe first offense penalties in the nation. In comparison to neighboring states, cannabis is legalized in Illinois, while Nebraska, Minnesota, and Missouri have decriminalized simple possession. Okay, if the news about dangerous deer and crummy drivers hasn't scared you away, let's talk about average home prices. Statewide, the typical home price in Iowa is around $199,000, according to the Iowa Association of Realtors. Here in the Iowa City Metro, the overall median in 2021 was $260,000. But if you break that out into different home types, it's $200,000 for condos, $248,000 for zero lots, and $320,500 for single-family homes. Hey, what other questions do you have about Iowa or Iowa City? Let me know in the comments section. If you'd like to talk with me about real estate here in the greater Iowa City area, you'll find all of my contact information down below in the description box of this video. If you're watching on your phone, all you need to do is tap the title of the description box and it will pop right up. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.